affordability that we have seen in the defense sector. All right, well, funding by a US agency for international development has come under the ED scanner in connection with an ongoing probe against the hedge fund operator George Soros. ED, which was probing three Bengaluru-based companies for alleged breach of Foreign Exchange Management Act in receiving rupees 25 crores from Soros Economic Development Fund, has found that one of those Asar Social Impact Advisors also received rupees 8 crores from USAID as foreign inward remittance in 22-23. The three companies received Soros's funds between 2021 and 2024, and sources also say that Asar explained that the USAID funding was reimbursement for the services it provided to a Delhi-based public policy think tank, Council on Energy, Environment and Water. Sources identified Root Bridge Services Private Limited and Root Bridge Academy Limited as the other two Bengaluru-based companies that had received funding from SEDF, which is the impact investment arm of Open Society Foundations, one of the several entities founded by Soros. ED is looking for the motive and purpose of these payments made by USAID, and sources say that Open Society Foundations was placed under prior reference category by the Home Ministry in 2016 on account of undesirable activities, a categorization which required it to seek prior sanction from the ministry in order to contribute funds to any Indian non-profit organization. We now take you through further details regarding Asar Social Impact Advisor. In fact, I'm going to go over to the big screen once again and show you what this was all about. Well, Soros-linked companies is under the ED lens, and the company is called the Asar Social Impact Advisor. This was established some years ago, and obviously they have been under the scanner by the ED because a lot of these funds come through shell companies and they seem suspicious, and hence the action was mandatory. It's been around since 2016, and they operate out of Bengaluru, Karnataka. And as you know, anything to do with George Soros, who's considered to be someone who's not particularly fond of the government, has been taken up very, very seriously by the Enforcement Directorate. Well, it's a non-government company, and they in fact have gone on to explain that they took this funding for a number of reasons which was social in nature, and they really were not able to furnish details for a number of documents which the ED is probing at this point in time. The authorized share capital that they boast of right now is rupees 1 lakh, but this is far from the monies, or rather the transactions, which have been unearthed by the Enforcement Directorate at this point in time. Well, obviously, the ED is probing this under the NIC code 749. That is a code which allows them to figure out why these sums were sent to this particular NGO, and this is their corporate identification number, which is absolutely necessary under the FCRA grants. And as we know that the FCRA companies, or rather the NGOs which have worked with the FCRA, have been under the scanner. The directors are Brikesh Singh and Vinuta Gopal, who are also in fact under the scanner at this point in time. So we are talking about Asar Social Impact. They received rupees 8 crore from USAID as foreign inward remittance in 22-23. USAID on its own also has been under the scanner. Of course, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has been livid with the way they function, and the USAID funding was a reimbursement for services provided to the Council on Energy, Environment and Water. So what to determine is whether this was a guise or was this actually the case. The trustees include Montek Singh Ahluwalia, former deputy chairperson of the Planning Commission. That's a big name that's associated with this particular NGO. It finds itself in trouble at this point in time. The connections that have been established so far reek of a lot of impropriety, and this is again something that may start up a lot of problems for this NGO. Belly Thomas, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast from Bengaluru to give us more details about this. Belly, obviously it doesn't seem watertight when you talk about Asar Social Impact Advisors case and the way the ED is probing it.
Absolutely, Vineet. So there are these three Bengaluru-based companies that are being probed by the Enforcement Directorate for breach in the foreign Exchange Management Act in receiving rupees 25 crores from the Open Societies Foundation headed by George Soros. So among these three companies, I am right now in front of the ASAR company. You can see here this ASAR Social Impact Advisors Private Limited, located in the heart of the city. It's on the 7th Temple Road, 15th across Malleshwaram. The doors remain closed. We actually knocked on the doors. No one was there to respond. So we had sent an email collecting their contact details from the website. And this is the building that the office is situated. And this particular ASAR Social Impact Advisors Private Limited is the one that had received rupees 8 crore from the USAID, which is currently under scanner of the Trump government. And along with that, there are two other companies which are called the Root Bridge Academy Private Limited and the Root Bridge Services Limited, that are located at the outskirts in Bengaluru, in Anekal. And these three companies are at present under the radar of the Enforcement Directorate, who are probing on to this particular mismanagement of funds, saying that they are receiving foreign direct funds and using it for some other activities. Vinny.
Really appreciate you joining us. Thank